Welcome back to Books and Bites, where we like to say we give you key takeaways from top books, fast, clear, and engaging, and all that good stuff.
That's us.
And today we're diving into Rachel Wolchin's book, What You Missed While Blinking,
Yeah.
which is this great collection of essays about slowing down, appreciating the little things, the meaningful moments, and really just living a life that's true to you.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is she doesn't just tell us to be present. She really kind of digs into why it's so important.
Yeah.
You know, like we are constantly bombarded with distractions,
Right.
right? Phones, to-do lists, that inner critic replaying all those past mistakes.
It's like we're only half here, like half checked out of the present moment.
Exactly. And her point is when we're not fully present, we miss out on so much of the richness of life, like those seemingly insignificant moments, you know, like
Right.
a quiet morning coffee, a genuine laugh with a friend. Those are the threads that weave the tapestry of happiness.
She has this great line in the book. She says, "Life is what happens in between the moments you're too busy to notice."
Mm?
It's so simple, but it just makes you stop and think.
It really does. And this idea of presence is a recurring theme throughout the book, you know,
Yeah.
especially when she talks about relationships.
Okay.
She argues that a lot of conflict comes from unspoken words,
Interesting.
from those assumptions we make about what the other person is thinking or feeling.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely guilty of that, sometimes filling in the blanks instead of actually communicating what's going on.
Yeah, it's such a common trap. But, you know, Wolchin suggests that true connection requires vulnerability,
Okay.
letting down our guard, expressing ourselves authentically, even when it feels a little risky.
That can be so hard, though. So is she saying we should just be completely unguarded all the time?
Well,
How do we balance that authenticity with, protecting ourselves?
that's a great question, and I don't think it's about being an open book to everyone.
Right.
It's more about choosing to be genuine with the people that we trust. And that ties into another key theme in the book, which is embracing change and growth.
Right, because relationships evolve. We evolve. Nothing stays the same.
Exactly.
And as much as we might crave that stability, Wolchin reminds us that growth often happens during those messy, uncomfortable periods.
Yeah.
She says, growth isn't always pretty, but it's always worth it.
I love that quote.
Yeah.
It speaks to the idea that we need to reframe our relationship with discomfort, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Change can be challenging, but it's also an opportunity for transformation.
For sure.
Think about a time when you went through a major life change.
Okay.
It might not have been fun in the moment, but looking back, did it shape you in a positive way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like we have this resistance to change that's just ingrained in us, but maybe that resistance is what keeps us stuck.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's about shifting our perspective and seeing that discomfort. It can be a catalyst for growth.
Yeah.
And this leads us to another interesting thing that Wolchin explores, which is finding joy in those small moments.
Oh, I love this part of the book. It's so easy to get caught up in the big goals, the milestones we're striving for.
Right.
But she reminds us that true joy, it's often found in those everyday experiences.
Oh, right. It's that first sip of coffee in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
the warmth of the sun on your skin, a genuine connection with a loved one.
Yeah.
And we often rush through these moments without truly appreciating them.
She has this beautiful quote. She says, "The beauty of life isn't found in the big events, but in the quiet moments we tend to overlook."
Yes.
It really makes you think about what we're prioritizing.
Absolutely. It's about cultivating a sense of gratitude for those simple things, you know,
Right.
the ordinary moments that make up our lives. When we shift our focus to what we already have, we start to experience a much deeper sense of contentment.
It's almost like a mindfulness practice, isn't it?
Exactly.
Intentionally paying attention to the present moment,
Yeah.
even if it's just savoring a delicious meal
Yeah.
or noticing the leaves changing colors.
Exactly. And this brings us to what I think is the heart of the book. Living authentically.
This part really resonated with me.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in those societal expectations,
Mm.
to worry about what other people think and lose sight of who we truly are.
Wolchin challenges us to examine our lives
Yeah.
and ask ourselves, are we living in accordance with our values?
Right.
Or are we letting external pressures dictate our choices?
It's a powerful question.
It is. And she doesn't shy away from the fact that living authentically can be challenging.
Yeah.
It requires self-awareness, you know, the courage to be ourselves, even when it goes against the grain.
Right.
She writes, authenticity is the courage to be yourself when the world tries to tell you who to be.
Mm.
And that's such a liberating message
Yeah.
because When we let go of the need to please everyone else,
Yeah.
we free ourselves to live a life that feels true to us.
It's about silencing those inner critics, tuning into our own intuition, and
Yeah.
making choices that align with our values.
Exactly. It's not about being perfect
Right.
or having it all figured out. It's about embracing our imperfections, celebrating our unique qualities, and living a life that reflects who we truly are.
It's interesting because all of these themes, being present, embracing change, finding joy in those small moments, living authentically,
Right?
they're all interconnected, aren't they?
They are, and that's what makes What You Missed While Blinking such a powerful read.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that life is happening right now, and it's up to us to open our eyes and truly see it.
So for our listeners who are intrigued by these ideas and want to dive deeper into Rachel Wolchin's work,
Yes.
we highly recommend checking out What You Missed While Blinking.
It's a book that will challenge you, inspire you, and leave you with a renewed appreciation for the beauty of the present moment.
Get your copy from the link in the description and subscribe to Books and Bites for more insightful summaries.
Yeah, it really is a call to wake up to the present moment and embrace all that life has to offer. You know, one of the most powerful takeaways for me from this book is this idea that authenticity isn't about achieving some perfect version of ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about letting go of that pressure to conform and just giving ourselves permission to be.
I love that it's about embracing our quirks,
Yeah.
our passions, the things that make us unique.
Exactly. And recognizing that our flaws, they're part of what makes us whole. They're not something to hide or be ashamed of.
She really encourages us to step into our own power and live a life that aligns with our values, even if it means standing out from the crowd.
And that takes courage.
It does.
It's not always easy to go against the grain, to pursue our passions, or just to be ourselves in a world that's always telling us who we should be.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into What You Missed While Blinking, let's leave our listeners with this thought.
Okay.
Take a moment today to notice the simple beauty around you.
Yeah.
Savor a small pleasure, connect with someone you love, and most importantly, be kind to yourself.
Yes.
Life is a gift.
It is.
And it's unfolding right now. Don't miss it.
Get your copy from the link in the description and subscribe to Books and Bites for more insightful summaries.